Good day. My name is Urban Intermediate Second, and this is my Software Engineering 1 topic summary. So, Chapter 1, Introduction to Software Engineering. Topics covered: FAQs, fact about software engineering, and professional and ethical responsibility. Summary: Software engineering is an engineering discipline that is concerned with all aspects of software production. The software process consists of activities that are involved in developing software products. Basic activities are software specification, development validation, and evolution. Professional societies publish codes of conduct which set out the standards of behavior expected of their members. Chapter 2, Socio-technical Systems. Topics covered: emergent system properties, system engineering, organizations, people and computer systems, legacy systems. Summary: socio-technical systems include computer hardware, software, and people, and are designed to meet some business goal. Emergent properties are properties that are characteristic of the system as whole and its component parts. The system engineering process includes specification, design, development, integration, and testing. System integration is particularly critical. Human and organizational factors have a significant effect on the operation of socio-technical systems. There are complex interactions between the processes of system procurement, development, and operation. Now, Chapter 3, Agile Software Development. Topics covered: Agile methods, plan-driven, and Agile development, extreme programming, Agile project management, scaling Agile methods. Summary: a particular strength of extreme programming is the development of automated tests before a program feature is created. All tests must successfully execute when, when an increment is integrated into a system. The Scrum method is an agile method that provides a project management framework. It is centered around a set of sprints, which are fixed time periods when a system increment is developed. Scaling agile methods for large systems is difficult. Large systems need upfront design and some documentation. Now, Chapter 4, Requirements Engineering. Topics covered: functional and non-functional requirements. The software requirements specification document, or SRS. Requirements specification, requirements engineering process, requirements elicitation and analysis, requirements validation, requirements management. Summary: requirements for a software system set out what the system should do and define constraints on its operation and implementation. Functional requirements are statements of services that the system must provide or are descriptions of how some computations must be carried out. Non-functional requirements often constrain the system being developed and the development process being used. They often relate to the emergent properties of the system and therefore apply to the system as whole. The software requirements document is an agreed statement of the system requirements. It should be organized so that both system customers and software developers can use. The requirements engineering process is an interactive process including requirements elicitation, specification, and validation. Requirements elicitation and analysis is an interactive process that can be represented as a spiral activities. Requirements discovery, requirements classification, and organization. Requirements negotiation, and requirements documentation. Now chapter 5, system modeling. Topics covered, context models, interaction models, structural models, behavioral models, model-driven engineering. Summary, behavioral models are used to describe the dynamic behavior of an executing system. This behavior can be modeled from the perspective of the data processed by the system or by the events that stimulate responses from a system. Activity diagrams may be used to model the processing of data, where each activity represents one process step. State diagrams are used to model a system's behavior in response to internal or external events. Model-driven engineering is an approach to software development in which a system is represented as a set of models that can automatically transform to executable code. Now, chapter 6, architectural design. Topics covered, architectural design decisions, architectural views, architectural patterns, application of architectures. Summary, models of application systems, architectures help us understand and compare applications, validate application, system designs, and access large-scale components of reuse. Transaction processing systems are interactive systems that allow information and database to be remotely accessed and modified by a number of users. Language processing systems are used to translate text from one language into another and to carry out the instructions specified in the input language. They include a translator and an abstract machine that executes the generated language. Now, chapter 7, design and implementation. Topics covered, object-oriented design using the UML and design patterns. Summary, when developing software, you should always consider the possibility of reusing existing software either as component services or complete systems. Configuration management is the process of managing changes to an evolving software system. It is essential when a team of people are cooperating to develop software. Most software development is host target development. You use an IDE on a host machine to develop the software, which is transferred to a target machine for execution. Open source development involves making the source code of a system publicly available. This means that many people can propose changes and improvements to the software. Chapter 8, Software Testing. Topics covered, development testing, test-driven development, release testing, user testing. Summary, testing can only show the presence of errors in a program. It cannot demonstrate that there are no remaining faults. Development testing is the responsibility of the software development team. A separate team should be responsible for the testing a system before it is released to customers. Development testing includes unit testing, component testing, and system testing. Chapter 9, Software Evolution. Topics covered: evolution processes, legacy systems, software maintenance. Summary: so, software development and evolution can be thought of as an integrated, iterative, iterative process that can be represented using a spiral model. For custom systems, the cost of software maintenance usually exceed the software development cost. The process of software evolution is driven by requests for changes and includes change, impact analysis, release, planning, and change implementation. Chapter 10, Socio-technical System. Topics covered: complex system engineering, system procurement, system development, system operation. Summary: system procurement covers all of the activities involved in deciding what system to buy and who should supply that system. System development includes requirements, specification, design, construction, integration, and testing. When a system is put into use, the operational processes and the system itself have to change to reflect changes business requirements. Human errors are inevitable, and systems should include barriers to detect these errors before they lead to system failure. Chapter 11, Security and Dependability. Topics covered: dependability properties, the system attributes that lead to dependability, availability, and reliability. System should be available to deliver availability and reliability. System should be available to deliver service and perform as expected. Safety: system should not behave in an unsafe way. Security: system should protect themselves and their data from external interference. Summary: reliability is related to the probability of an error occurring in operational use. A system with known faults may be reliable. Safety is a system attribute that reflects the system ability to operate without threatening people or the environment. Security is a system attribute that reflects the system ability to protect itself from external attack. Depend- Dependability is compromised if a system is insecure as the code or data may be corrupted. So that will be all po. Thank you. And once again, this is Rohel E. Cañete, the second, third year, Block A.